Okay, this is another video. Target individuals and anybody who's watching who's not a perp. The reason why I make videos is because as a target individual, you are in a world where they try to break you down and make you accept what they're doing as if it's first of all logical, normal, and they try to normalize it. The reality of you are identified individual at this point because you're gonna be around people who are the pure trash of Earth, and they're not monsters. They're not like being like they're just people who just trick themselves into thinking that this thing they're doing is something as target individuals to subscribe to, and they should not be seen for what they're truly a part of. Like I said, with me, I have this, which is the foulest thing to even experience, is people who really think that I'm gonna let them go into that fantasy because they want to maintain a sense of like we're just no, we're not trash. We're just heroes. We're just, it's our world. They are the lowest of the low. Because on top of that, they're trying to then make it seem like they're protecting the community, avenging people. They're like, is the biggest clowns you can ever imagine. I'm hearing childlike individuals tell me, oh, we're gonna frame you. I'm noble, I'm a hero. Or something like that, like where what they're doing is hero, like it's noble. They're just trash that already been compromised at that age. They can't even speak about a pedophile. So what do you think that this already signs? There's so many signs that these people are just the bottom feeders, working for these entities. But they know that people can trick themselves into thinking anyways. I'm with this perp, right? I talked about her many times already. I know she's a perp. I can see her if every once in a while try to get angry, just talk about somebody, and try to be like, we're doing it for her. I'm like, what? I'm like, hey, yeah, is she living her best life, right? I said something like that because I talked to this person they're doing it for. She gets so angry. Like you can see, I'm like, is she? Does she not know that I know that this is what they do to women? Like you know that I know what you guys do to women, and like you try to make it seem like you care so much about this woman who's living her best life while you are here in a program that's frying and killing and doing all horrible things to this woman. Oh, what happened there? Oh, all the anger. Delusional. You just like this program, being involved in this program because, to be honest, this technology is so sophisticated. It gives you a feeling of God. Because what you see, what you can control, what you know is going to happen to this individual makes you feel like a God. They can tell me things I'm going to hear later. They can, like all of those, that's a feeling that, where are they going to find this? So now all of a sudden, we're doing it for this person. They're in a program that is frying and killing women all around the world. Right? But when I bring that up, it's like, not fair. Right? So I understand. You're just BSing. You just trash. You just enjoy this. I understand. It gives you a feeling of like superhuman almost. At least to me, to the target individual. It makes you feel that you can control this person, you can see this person die, you can do so much. Where are they ever gonna feel this way? And there's so many other people involved, so you don't feel too guilty because you're not holding all this guilt on yourself. There's so many people involved. No, I understand these people. You enjoy feeling like you can tell me what's going to happen to me. You can predict what's going to happen. Everything around me is manipulated, controlled. The people I listen to, all of that. My whole ecosystem is going to be manipulated. It's going to be controlled. It's going to be like everything. And so now all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, for this. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, all this anger when you hear this woman talk about they can't walk because they're being sexually tortured by this technology. The same program you're in. No, I know exactly what you're part of. I know what you're doing to yourself to try to make yourself believe this thing, and I know why you're really in this. And then they go into the pedophilia things they do to people. This is another way to break people down and also make them feel like, oh my God. I was with this woman last night. In the midst of our intimacy, I could hear this child like trash say, a black girl. And she got like all quiet, timid. The reason why she was saying that is because I was in the midst of having intimate moments with this woman. When they do this, they start working in my brain and create some thoughts. And they start like, and I was in a position that kind of like created some sort of stimulations of some sort. And in my brain, they would try to play this thing in back and forth. I got, while I was with this person, I, got away from this thing. But they try to condition your brain like that. These people are low-life pedophiles, but they're not monsters, huh? They're not like, they're like, they just start slowly to normalize it, right? Like they try to it's like they just kind of slowly try to make it normal. Can you imagine trying to normalize like pedophilia in the sense of like normalize somebody to think in this way? Not even like just, I'm not saying like, insulting something, but no. I'm talking about like try to normalize manipulating people to think in this way. It's like, oh my God, talk about black little girls, they can start thinking about black little girls while he's having sex. Or while he's having sexual moments with a woman. So his brain can train his brain to think like that. And then you hear the people honking and everything else. It's disgusting. That's why there's so many pedophiles in these agencies, because I think that these bottom feeders that are being, obviously, they're not the one in charge, right? The tactics have been, there's people around them, obviously showing them what to do, how to do things, and obviously showing them how to utilize pedophilia to torment people. This trash. And throughout this morning, they would like make me think somehow, and my brain is so, like, within time, they get deeper and deeper in your thoughts, and deeper, and so before you could tell they're manipulating you like that. But now it goes so deep that you almost feel like it's your own thoughts, and they try to gaslight you to think like that. To gaslight you to make you think that you think like that. What you know is like about the nastiness of what's happening, you're aware. But if they were having like just regular, just non-pedophilia thoughts, if it was just simple like normal thoughts, you would not know. There is no way you would know. You will not know. And anytime things goes too far, it's like, that's them. Because too far meaning the pedophilia thing. So you know, it's like, yep, it's them. They're that deep. And last night they were trying, while I was in there, I could hear them just having like these battles in my brain. I was like, and because especially when you're not on high alert, when you like try to focus on something, which I was intimidated, I was in this intimacy point, they would try to create, and I was like kind of like try to ignore it. It was just like, okay, this is stupid, but at the same time it's like annoying and kind of disturbing, and then you hear honking because this is happening in your head. It's just disgusting, because this is them playing with your brain in this moment. Thankfully, it was bad, and the person I was with, like, okay, because she's involved too, so she knows they're doing this thing, and it was obvious. She says something, and then they start making me think like, and she's like, oh, come up, But in these moments, that's what they do. Now, I know these people, but the fact that they've been humiliated in a simple fact that there's a lot of pedophiles in these agencies contracted this low life, that they can't even speak about a pedophile like Roy Moore, that there's testimonies of the pedophilia type of torture they do, that there's the fact they torture children, that all these horrible things they do to women. And these people wanted to present themselves as this like, no, this is what a dungeon, go doing this, what they were protecting our kids, blah, blah, blah. What you expect is going to happen to me? I say this days in and day out. Every day I've been talking about what they do. They're going to create a theater of torture. This is why I make videos. Because and I don't care about being seen. I keep the mask on. I don't care if my name is, it's just I want to say it. You don't even need to see my face. Because when the time comes, I can't speak it. Just this trash around here. That moment's going to come. I'm not saying anything magical. It's obvious. These people dedicate that much time in these disturbing things. It's gonna come. I'm not saying anything magical. They're just like if there's anything about like biblical about this, it does feel biblical. This could make you think that there's really you could become religious easily. I was always somewhat spiritual, religious, but if I wasn't and I was in this program, I would be, because it is a sense of religion. You don't see these people as evil people. I don't see them as evil. They're just weak and low life trash. Who I think is evil is the people who really architect these things. These people are just losers and weak trash that wanted to feel empowered and feel like this is a way to feel empowered. They're weak, and now you got trapped in that. Now you're going to try to counter reality in every way possible, and you're going to create a theater. Try to be, oh, no, you know what I am? Actually, I'm a radical, progressive badass. When in reality, you're trash in a program that's been torturing women and children. They're going to create their own little story. And they're like, oh, you see, I can control. Oh, really? Oh, they're going to laugh, huh? You can't even say Roy Moore. You have to time it. Somebody say Roy Moore, what I'm saying. They can't say the name Roy Moore. There's no, and I'm sure, and I think the people who are orchestrating this and see these people who wanted to come up with a little fantasy, they look at it like, yeah, that's good. They got to know soon. They got to know what they're part of, because they're going to, at one point, if they haven't already, do this to a woman and a child. Because some of them already have. A lot of them have done this to women, children already. So these people who wanted to come up with this little fantasy, you compromise in new ways. Now look, he's showing you what we do. Better dumb yourself down when he brings that up. I would choose now, 2020, bunch of women talking about what's happening to them. Delusional. And I know who put me in this program, so I see them as just the bottom feeders, the tools, basically, to implement these things. Me, I was put in this program where this trash, this nothingness, are going to do things they do to people. But this nothingness wanted to create a facade. And I was not, I did not allow them to leave this facade. They wanted me to be like, oh, remember what you did that? I'm like, do you remember that I know that you torture women in these disturbing ways? Sexual torture, rapes, psychological tormenting, all of this stuff. From pedophilia type of torture to warnings of rapes. One woman in the Philippines is saying the same thing. I wish I would have just saved that video. This woman was saying, and I think I can find it somewhere. She's like, and she was like, I'm from the Philippines. They tell me that I'm gonna be raped. I'm gonna do this and that. Of course I do. That sounds familiar. They use the same tactics because they are the same. This is the same program. And they do this, may have mixed it up a little bit with different target individual, but it's the same thing, the same program. They're nasty. They're trash. Right now somebody can say, oh, mix, because they said the word mix because, oh, we're mixing, whatever. Also, you use mix to see mistakeful. They're not mistakeful. They're trash. This technology is super sophisticated. I understand that. That's why low life like that can compromise themselves in that way. Because that feeling of godlike is amazing. And somebody's talking about my arm. You're going to lose your arm and leg. I'm like, oh, listen, did you see the legs of these women? Some of them amputated their toes and things like that. The hands, the arms, they're just like deformed, handicapped, crippled. Like, I know what you guys do to women's arms, legs, knees, teeth, eyes, organs, all of that, genitals, rectums. They want to come up with a fantasy. It's so disgusting. They tell this person, oh, she's a hero for things like hero. This is perp. She is, from day one, I'm like, I know you're a perp. Matter of fact, I even feel bad, like when she thought I was gonna stop seeing her. Oh my gosh, she started like being super emotional, like shaking, heart beating, because she wanted to be involved so bad in this thing. I felt bad. It's like this, like I looked at her teary and all that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I know she's actually sad. Because it's easy. What? I know she's a perp. I can hear her mumble her thing. Oh, die, you're gonna cut it. They're gonna cut it. She cuts like some kind of vegetable. Cut it. It's like they're gonna cut you, like that. Pow. I'm like, I look at her. It's like you're trash. I'd rather be cut up in pieces and do what you do. But in her mind, she thinks she's like femme fatale. It's like femme fatale. I know what you do. I know. I know you're gonna be involved in some terrible things that I'm gonna be, I'm the one gonna be tortured. I see you. You're just nothing. You can eat something wrong and just get sick. There is nothing fatal about you. There's nothing. If you're doing this to me, if you're here right now, it's because you can't even say Roy Moore. These people are trying to play this progressive thing. I was like, the people who put me in this program, I know the influences in this country. You have to sit there, enjoy yourself. Me making meals for you. Me giving you massage. Me doing other things to make you feel better. They leave here feeling like, oh. Everything, like, making them feel the best. And then try to be, well, we are such a hero. But I said it will take 2 seconds for things to come to you. 2. You can eat something with a little bit of spices, and that's. I'm not gonna let them live their fantasy. These people sold their soul to pedophiles, and good for them. Please continue to live this life, and trick yourself. They all of a sudden become on the spectrum. These people who could be more logical than you all of a sudden have to be whoop. Start talking, like thinking in this illogical, childlike way. Grown men and women. Some of them have accomplished so much, all of them become just like. And you look at this grown men and women just becoming just damn near, just illogical. Really tricking themselves. You see them like gaslighting themselves. I'm like, wow, are you serious? Do you think I'm going to, like, do you not see how you play yourself too? To all my target individual, you got to be strong. Because they're going to try to, like, the gaslighting consists of, like, really making you accept this reality they put together. And this is not just gaslighting. This is the government entity doing human experimentation, manipulating your brain, and wanting you to accept these things. But it's definitely a human experimentation. It's definitely just a subject, and this thing is for a bigger purpose. Because if they really want to make you go crazy, bop like that, poof, you will lose. I know I can make completely lose my mind. There's a purpose that's bigger. I understand that, and this is obviously to develop and continue to develop this weapon. Because I remember from day one. I remember when they started, they for sure let me know that they were in my brain. Because when this video can start, you're like, what? No, I'm going crazy. And they're like, no, if it's really happening, bang the door 3 times. They pop. Oh my God. They let you know that they're in your brain and manipulating you. And then they try to create battles because they know that they want to get more out of you. But they know you, and they want you to like have this back and forth. And they're going to have people playing. It's like, it's psychological warfare. But it's not a warfare in the sense that these people are like just comfortably just watching you, talking to you, and you in your mind is the war. Having people try to like, it's like, is it not too obvious that something's happening to my brain? Is it not? And they look at you, and you have these people like, oh, we're a hero. I'm not aggressive. I know what you do. If other person, if you do that to them and they're like, oh, this person is trying to harm me, I'm in bed with her. I'm like, she could easily, because when they put you to sleep, they can make you unconscious completely. She could bring people in and do things, and who knows what's happening. She could be implanting stuff here. I know. But I'm looking at her, it's like, this weak little life. I feel bad to even stop things with her. Do I care? Like, would I care if I never see her again? No. Yes, it's good to have company, but not that kind of company when they're involved in this. I can easily just, okay, if she says I don't want to, I'll be like, okay, well, good, it's okay. But it hurts me to even try to do that because I see how vulnerable she is and how like. So I see things for what they are. It's just disgusting. I know that I will never be myself, and the people who try to get you to accept these manipulations of all sorts, perceptions, memories, thoughts, all of that, try to get you. It's you. It's your thoughts, black girl. And they make me think of some random stuff. I work on some stuff here. This like website where there's sick kids on it, and like they were having this battle. All this kid is sick, but what about this normal little girl? Like, oh, it's just it's back and forth, and you have to be strong, because you know you've been manipulated like that. Now, I know that this thing is never gonna stop, but I do find dignity in this. And I do find dignity in this thing because I could be on the other side of things. I could be doing what they do. They're not special. Like, anybody can be involved. And I look at it as like, oh, I'm telling you, I will never do this. But let's just say if everybody around me was doing this. My friends were doing this. My mother, like all of that. Maybe I could fall into these things like they do and feel special. Oh, therefore, because this person somebody just said that before I said that. I could be just like them saying these things before I say things. I could feel special like that. And find that this is empowerment, when in reality, you're just the trash that implement this nastiness onto people. You work in a program that do pedophilia type of tormenting. The people who contracted you are a bunch of pedos. There's a lot of pedophiles in these agencies. Your job is to rewire the brain of a male adult or woman adults to think in these nasty ways. And you claim it to be a war. You're wearing your sweatpants. You're in a program that is actually torturing kids in all different ways. While you're in your sweatpants calling you're at war. Delusional. They're nasty. To all my target individual, you could have been like them. And I know that justice will be done for this low lifeness that they live. And for you, just know that you're dignified. Whatever sophistication this technology is capable of doing, understand how weak these perps are. Yes, this is a government-led program. That's why it's this sophisticated. It's unbelievably sophisticated. It's incredibly sophisticated. But the people involved in it just sold themselves to these pedophiles for this sophistication. So know that justice will be done, and these pedophiles and these lowlifes that do these horrible things to us will get theirs.